How did the US and Israel launch a preemptive strike against Iran? They used a tactic called time on target. With 2 aircraft carriers and a fleet of destroyers, they calculated the exact timing. Israeli jets and US cruise missiles hit their targets simultaneously. Israel aimed to assassinate Khamenei and other top leadership, while the US targeted military sites and high-value industries. Iranian air defenses failed to activate. The US used advanced electronic warfare from space, sea, and air, blinding radar. Destroyers launched a swarm of cruise missiles to neutralize anti-air systems. The war is not over. Iran still has thousands of ballistic missiles and drones. These are striking American and allied bases across the Middle East. Currently, nearly everyone in the region is an open target. On February 28, 2026, the US and Israel launched a major coordinated offensive against Iran. Israel called its Operation Roar the Lion, and the US called theirs Operation Epic Fury. The strike targeted the Supreme Leader's compound, with missiles focused on sensitive areas like University Street, the Jamhuri District, and Pasdaster Street, the nerve center of the Iranian government, and offices of Ayatollah Ali Khamenei. The IDF claimed they hit Khamenei, but Iranian officials said he was not in his offices at impact. The strike may have leveled the compound, but the target initially escaped. Later reports indicate Israel says Khamenei's body was found and confirmed dead. The first wave of the strike was perfectly synchronized, overwhelming, and designed to blind the regime all at once. Carriages, industrial and aerospace hubs were destroyed. Tehran, the capital, was rocked. Calm areas were hit to shock the ideological heart of the country. In the west, Kermanshah was neutralized before operators could power up radars, and Isfahan, central to nuclear and drone programs, was heavily hit. How was this preemptive strike executed? They didn't rely solely on land bases. 2 massive carriers were positioned near Iran, the USS Abraham Lincoln in the Arabian Sea, and the USS Gerald R. Ford in the eastern Mediterranean. Israeli jets crossed the Middle East to reach Iranian airspace, synchronized perfectly with missile launches. The operation relied on time on target. Missiles from submarines, cruise missiles from ships, and stealth bombers dropped payloads from different locations at different times. The U.S. military choreographed the strike mathematically, ensuring simultaneous impact in Cayenne, Kermanshah, and Isfahan, while Israeli jets dropped guided bombs. The result was a total systemic shock, aimed to collapse the regime instantly. Iranian air defenses failed because the U.S. used advanced electronic warfare and cyber operations, injecting false data into Iranian radar screens from space to ground. Top-tier Iranian air defense systems, like their homegrown Bavar and Russian satellite batteries, were completely overwhelmed by the electronic assault. To hunt them down, the U.S. set a calculated trap. They launched hundreds of ABM-160 miniature air-launched decoys. 2 Iranian radar operators, these tiny drones appeared as a massive squadron of F-15s or F-16s heading toward the capital. With defenses distracted, 5th-generation stealth fighters, including U.S. and Israeli F-35s, possibly F-2 Raptors, sliced through the airspace undetected. The Iranian air defense network was not just suppressed, it was dismantled, at least temporarily. Iran responded with Operation Truthful Promise, firing a massive wave of missiles and drones targeting U.S. bases and Israel. The UAE's Obliterate air base was hit, leaving 1 dead from shrapnel. Bahrain's U.S. Navy 5th Fleet HQ was targeted. Kuwait locked down its airspace under heavy alert. Nationwide sirens blared across Israel, with mid-air interceptions lighting the skies over Tel Aviv and Jerusalem. At 9 a.m., Israel launched more than a dozen aircraft to reach central Iran, navigating or bypassing Syria and Iraq. The flight distance to central Iran was estimated between 930 and 1,240 miles each way, requiring careful planning, air refueling, and coordination. The attack strategy came in 3 waves. First wave targeted surface-to-air sites, radar installations, and Iran's air defense headquarters. Second wave focused on destroying ballistic missiles. Third wave targeted military manufacturing industries. The operation began not with manned aircraft but with robotic precision from the sea. The goal was to blind enemy radars and silence command and control. In the Persian Gulf and northern Arabian Sea, Arleigh Burke-class destroyers like the USS Thomas Hudner launched dozens of Tomahawk land attack missiles, flying at subsonic speeds and hugging the terrain in nap-of-the-earth flight. These missiles struck S-300 and S-400 radar sites and command bunkers, carving safe corridors for the pilots that followed. 30 minutes later, while Tomahawks were still impacting, B-2 Spirit stealth bombers penetrated hostile airspace. With the air defense network fractured, the path was clear for strategic sites, including nuclear bunkers. F-15E, Strike Eagles, launching from Jordan and the UAE, attacked mobile targets, carrying precision-guided munitions to strike missile convoys. They also targeted hangars and secondary command nodes. When ammunition ran low or fuel levels dropped, the aircraft refueled mid-air, using tanker tracks established in the first phase, then returned for a second sortie. 2 hours into the operation, U.S. Navy carrier strike groups in the Arabian Sea launched waves of aircraft every 30 seconds. F-A-18 Super Hornets carried anti-aviation missiles to destroy surviving enemy air defenses, while F-35C Lightning jets gathered intelligence and struck high-value targets beyond the reach of older aircraft. E-2D Hawkeye aircraft coordinated the massive air operation, managing hundreds of jets in the theater. By sunrise, the first wave was complete. Tomahawks had blinded enemy radars. B-2 bombers had crushed the heart of the nuclear program, and F-15s, along with carrier aircraft, had severed the limbs of Iran's missile forces.